Hi, I'm Dr. John, and thanks so much for joining us today. Today's posture that we're going to be talking about is called standing forehead to knee. Specifically, we're going to focus in on the standing leg, or the foundation leg. How do we get a safe practice? How do we keep our knees safe? And how do we get to a strong place so that we can have a greater expression later on? In a moment, you're going to meet our virtual assistant, Cindy, who's going to take you through standing forehead to knee and some of the ideas and concepts behind creating this most solid foundation that you possibly can. From the decades of my experience and knowledge of the human body and how it works, I'd like to explain the most basic, in-depth alignment of maintaining a straight leg in the standing forehead to knee pose. Here it goes. To begin, think of your leg as being straight. That's the first rule. Don't bend it forward, don't bend it backward. Straight is the way. Straight meaning no bend in any direction. The knee is a very complicated joint. It's a hinge and it's a screw. What do I mean exactly? Well, a hinge just opens and closes, like a door, while a screw rotates open and rotates closed. Your knee joint does both at the same time. So if you're thinking of a simple open-close hinge, then I hope this may expand your perception of what the knee really is. Such a complicated joint not only deserves a lot of support, but it really requires it. To speak in basic terms, you have a group of muscles in the front of your thigh called your quadriceps. Then you have a group of muscles in the back of your thigh called your hamstrings. Below the knee, there are your calf muscles, and in the front, below the knee, there are your shin muscles. These muscle groups are very powerful and are responsible for carrying you through your entire life. I guess this is where some of the philosophy starts to kick in. Every step you take, every move you make, these muscles are there for you. I've been a student in many classes where the teacher continually instructs you to tighten the quadriceps until you see the kneecap raise. They tend to place their focus on that group, and for most people, this begins to get the job done. Now listen, I know, if you're watching the video, you're really interested in knowing and learning the real details on how to find the right position for you. So here it is. If a person were to focus primarily on the front thigh or quadricep muscles, then for sure, eventually, the person's knee will most likely move towards hyperextension or start bending backward. The fact is that everybody's body is different, and some people, because of the flexibility of their ligaments, they will hyperextend much easier than others. It's just nature. The karma that you were born with. It's a gift from your mom and your dad, from your grandpa and your grandma. Now, if a person were to focus primarily on maintaining a small bend in their knee, then truly they may never be capable of finding a completely straight leg. I've had a very different way of thinking about this. In order to achieve the proper position while completely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, protecting the knee from hyperextension, you must do both. Well, that's pretty silly. How do you ask? How do you do both? Well, here's how I explain it. Where your focus or your drishti goes, energy flows. I'll say that again. Where focus goes, energy flows. We have to remember this, and this is one of our greatest gifts that your yoga practice may give you. If we think of the leg as a flowing river, our focus can send energy down the entire leg equally, equal in the front, in the back, and equal on the sides. Let's start from the top to the bottom. First, as you round forward at the waist, turn on your pelvis and your gluteus muscles by sending your mind's intention and energy and focus to them. Next, engage your quadriceps. Remember, that's the muscles in the front of the leg. Activate them so the kneecap pulls up. Now, engage the hamstrings. Remember, that's the muscles in the back of the leg. And yes, you do it at the same time. You activate them equally to stabilize the leg, so it has strength in the front and the back. With focus and energy now flowing in the front and back of the thigh, feel them starting to come alive. Your mind, or my mind, will struggle with this process of keeping these areas active, equal and constant. But that's what minds do, and that's why this is a yoga practice and not a yoga perfect. Moving down the leg on a quest to find our base, the center of Mother Earth, your attention and focus can expand. It doesn't move, but it expands into calf muscles. That means you maintain still the upper thigh strength in the front and the back and allow it to expand downward past the knee into the calf. As energy enters into the calf muscles, we can feel additional support starting to happen. The knee starts to become stronger. Immediately, life starts to wrap around the front of the shin bone in the peroneal muscles or shin muscles. the tibialis anterior, you'll feel those muscles turn on. Now your mind will tend to bounce if focus goes all over the place. First the quadriceps, then the hamstrings, then the quads, then maybe the calves. So you're going front and then back and then down and back to the front and so on. And it's different for everyone. To guarantee your success, you just simply allow the energy of your upper body to move up and forward towards the front. This ensures that you won't collapse into your hips. A person collapsing into the hips will allow their energy to sink down and back. And many people can find this as a major cause of where their knee hyperextension is coming from. Finally, we must connect into Mother Earth. Your foot needs to come alive. As the foot expands and opens energetically, it engages into life, and the energy moving through the leg drives down into the earth. How deep it goes depends on how often and how well you practice. Like a deep tree rooting into the ground, this becomes your mind and your energy and your intention. Now your energy is married to the center of the earth. Your knee is totally safe, 100% straight with no bend in any direction. Your knee joint becomes a symbol of health and strength. Your ligaments and tendons are alive and happy. They're not under stress. And you've achieved a center from a scientific as well as ethereal point of view as your focus and concentration are aligned. It's not just theory. This is actual science. This is what your body was designed to do. The practice is what allows you to experience your own individual divine grace. By bringing all parts of your standing leg alive, you'll find your total balance. After 15 years of my own personal practice with this particular pose, don't worry, I still find it challenging. Though, if it were easy, I bet there would be a lot less controversy, and everybody would be doing it perfectly. Will there still be variety from here? Variances from person to person? People who tend to bend the rules or tend to have a different body composition or makeup? Yes, I'm totally sure of it. Nothing is certain in life. The only thing certain is that there'll definitely be uncertainty. I believe that if you start to use your body in the way that I described to you, you will begin to find your own personal center while learning to recognize an important distinction in your own yoga practice. The distinction is your practice safe or is your practice not safe? From all of us at Fire Shaper, we wish the best to you in your life journey. I hope these insights assist you in your growth and hopefully see you in one of our training programs or classes soon. Namaste.